And good morning, One Life. You're locked into our weekly agent conference call this morning. I'm Jeff Bowles, marketing rep here with One Life. And this morning we have a couple of great guests, beginning with our very own Adam Stewart. And so I'll take the opportunity now to introduce Adam. Adam graduated from West Lauderdale High School in 1999. You say West Lauderdale if you're from the county of Lauderdale, but of course everyone outside of this area would know it as West Lauderdale High School. That's where he graduated from. In 1999, played baseball there, had quite an athletic career there and quite a scholastic career there as well. Adam spent a few years at Meridian Community College before transferring to Southern Miss, where he received his bachelor's degree in psychology. Thereafter, he furthered his education by receiving a master's degree in counseling from, of course, the great Mississippi State University. Adam has been with One Life for 5 years now. He began his career here actually managing a call center locally, but now he serves as the Director of Lead Management. Adam is a deacon at the church he attends, along with his wife, Lauren, and their 2 daughters. Adam, thank you so much for doing our devotion on the call this morning.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Jeff. Had numerous opportunities to deliver the devotion on the call, and I enjoy each opportunity that I get to do it and the opportunity to share with you. And, I'm 35 years old now, and we got a 2-year-old daughter and about to be 3 and a 6-year-old daughter. And, I'm kind of at that phase in life. I guess we all have this at different periods of time in our life, but where we're just kind of evaluating our life and where we're at this point and where we would like to go to, and whether that be, personally or professionally or spiritually, whatever the case may be. I kind of look at it as that transition phase. You're out of the, you kind of moved out of the young adulthood where you don't have kids, and now you're into that phase where you've got all the responsibilities that go along with work and a family and children, and then realizing that I remember when I was 15 years old, if someone told me they were 50, I thought they were an ancient dinosaur. And now at 35, I look at 50 and I'm like, man, that's pretty young. So just at a point in life where just making evaluations of where I'm at and where I'm going, and it begs me to question what is important in life, what matters. And obviously there can be a multitude of answers for that, but I believe the most important answer is in evaluating our life is where we are at spiritually in our relationship with Jesus Christ. And it brought me to a passage of Scripture in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 7 through 8, and it's the Apostle Paul basically at a point in his life where he is fully aware that he is about to die. And he is reflecting on his life. And if you ever looked at the Apostle Paul, Paul started his young life, adult life, as a Pharisee, which was a group of people back there in Jesus' time who believed that salvation was earned through the keeping of the Old Testament law. So it was basically a works-based religion. You have to do enough of the right things and don't do these bad things. And if you do that, you will earn salvation. Whereas Jesus Christ teaches us that salvation cannot be earned. It is a gift that is offered to everyone. You simply just have to believe. The Bible tells us that we confess with our mouth and believe in our heart, you will be saved. So the Pharisees didn't like that, because that would completely do away with everything that they have said and their whole way of life and the power that gave them. So Paul, he was named Saul at that point. He was a Pharisee, and he was described as one of the best, as one of the most learned Pharisees. He was an expert in the law, and he was a very much a severe persecutor of Christians. And many of you will know that Saul encountered Christ on the road to Emmaus, and he had a conversion where his world was changed, and he now took that same fervor and passion that he had for persecuting Christians to now telling people about the grace and the mercy that he was shown through Christ and the way to salvation, and spent his entire life from that point on just on the roads, establishing churches, discipling people, and it was a difficult road. He was severely persecuted. Many times he was almost beaten to death. He did not have an easy life at all. He was homeless, in essence. He was always traveling, spreading the gospel. He did not have material possessions and things of that nature that he might have had he stayed at home and focused on a career or a job or building wealth and things of that nature. So when Paul is at the end of his life, in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7 through 8, he says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. So when Paul reflected on his life, the good fight that he's referring to is the fight to spread the gospel and to basically do battle with things that were being taught that were incorrect, that did not lead people towards Christ. So when Paul reflected on and evaluated his life, he measured that against what he did for the kingdom of God. Now, obviously, we don't just negate the fact that we need jobs to provide for our family. The Bible tells us first and foremost that we got to take care of our family before we can help other people. But I encourage you to evaluate your life from a spiritual standpoint. Are we too busy and too caught up in advancing personally and professionally that we are pushing to the side our relationship with Christ, or even more, the work that we're doing for him? As Christians, we are called not to simply receive salvation and then sit back contented and coast through life. We are then commanded to spread that message and to share that love with other people, because it is a beautiful, wonderful gift. Anytime, when we think of a gift, it's something great that we want to share with people and give to people. Yet so often we don't do that as Christians because we're too busy with the things of life. So I encourage you to just, have a little self-evaluation. And obviously, our careers are important. Our jobs are important. It gives us a platform to be able to do a lot of the things that in ministry and helping other people. But are we putting more focus on those things than we are on our relationship with Christ and our walk with him? So I encourage you to just have a moment of reflection this week and, just to be honest with yourself and evaluating that. So if you would, bow your heads with me and we'll have a prayer. Lord, I thank you for this day. Father, I thank you for each person that has that's on this call. Father, Lord, I thank you for the time that they are taking out of their busy schedule to just be participating in this. And Father, I just pray that each one, Father, that you would give them a great week, Father, that you would bless them, not only in their work, Father, but in their walk with you, Father, their relationship with you, Father. I love the fact that your word tells us that all we have to do is simply draw near to you, that if we draw near to you, that you'll draw near to us, Father, that you're always there. You're not far off. We don't have to search long and hard to find you. You're there. You want to be found by us, and you want to be in a relationship with us, and I thank you for that. And Father, I just pray that you would help each person listening, Father, to experience that. Father, I pray that you would keep them safe this week as they're out traveling and helping their clients, Father. And Lord, I pray that you would help them to be that good influence, that bright spot in someone's week, Father, who maybe the people that they're seeing this week are just going through a rough time or going through difficulties. Father, I pray that you would use them to lighten their week and to be an encouragement to those folks, Father. Lord, I thank you for this company. Father, I thank you for the opportunities that you afford us through this great company. Lord, I pray that your blessings would be on the company and our leaders, our owners, and all of our agency force and our home office staff. Father, I just thank you for each one of them, Father, and I just pray again that we would honor you in the way that we do business. And Father, I pray that you would help us to be successful. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome. Thank you again, Adam, for being with us and being on the call this morning. We've got a tremendous call, and again, I always look forward to having guys like Adam on the call. You know what type of individual he is. You know what type of life he leads. And forgive me if I sound a little bit different this morning. I do have a little bit of a sinus cold. I'm battling back, so y'all just bear with me on that. Want to go ahead and launch into our production and also our marketing updates that we have for you. We always try to do those, and man, do we have a tremendous announcement to make this morning. We actually did reach a threshold that is huge to us here at One Life that we've been striving for week in and week out, trying to get to this number and try to stay there consistently. And this will be the second time in a few months that we've actually reached this threshold, and that is the $1 million mark. For the week of 8/5 through 8/19, we actually submitted $1,034,322 worth of submitted annualized premium, and that is an excellent week for One Life as a whole. We'll move now to our team report, where we have actually an individual that's going to be on the call with us this morning. Him and his team are doing pretty well there. They're actually just barely in the lead for year to date, and they're striving to be the team of the year with One Life. And so we'll go ahead and hit on that team report now. Number 5 on the list, Legacy United. They're out of Lakeland, Florida. Came in for the week of 8/15 through 8/19 with $66,682 worth of submitted annualized premium. And then at number 4, we have David Bowles coming in with $73,313 worth of submitted annualized premium. He of course is out of the Meridian office there. Number 3, Lead Masters Insurance wrote $77,321 worth of submitted annualized premium. Excellent job there with Lead Masters Insurance. Number 2 on the list, Life Management Group with $150,302 worth of submitted annualized premium. And then number 1 on the list, Innovative Insurance Brokers, wrote $163,216. So congratulations to them. And then give me just a second. I've got Keith Little is actually getting me some information here. He's having a little difficulty getting in on the call, so I'm going to go ahead and forward him some information here. We want to make sure and try to have our featured speaker if at all possible, so let me get that to him. All right. We'll move now to the individuals on the report for the week again of 8/15 through 8/19. At number 10, Shelley Lambert. Quite an excellent week, Shelley, out of the West. $9,424 worth of submitted annualized premium. She did quite an excellent job. Then at number 9, Jennifer Adams wrote $9,592 worth of submitted annualized premium. Excellent job, Jennifer. Number 8 on the list, Steve Thornton. He's our reigning Agent of the Year here at One Life. Steve wrote $9,604 worth of submitted annualized premium. Then at number 7 on the list, Elisha Giron with $9,768. Number 6 on the list, Austin Dukes, $9,919 worth of submitted annualized premium. Number 5, Barry Barnett, $10,091 worth of submitted AP for the top half of the list. Excellent job, Barry. Number 4 on the list, Jeremiah Rojas, $10,633 worth of submitted AP. Then number 3, Timothy Langford, $10,746. Number 2 on the list, Matthew Doretsky, $11,727, and Matthew's got to be up there in our individual agents for the year because he continues to rank near the top of our list that we have every week, particularly our top 10 list. When you're making that top 10 list every week, you're really doing an excellent job. So at number 1, Chris Minnie Charles came in as the Agent of the Week. $21,351 worth of submitted annualized premium, again, for the week of 8/15 through 8/19. Congratulations, all of you that made the list, and even those that didn't. Hopefully you do slip in there. It only takes, this week it only takes $9,500 worth of submitted annualized premium or so. And we actually had an agent out of our Meridian office, I believe, reach that plateau for the first time this past week, and we'll be really excited to mention his name here in the next week or two when we get our numbers together for this past week. So that is our production update. Let me move now to a brief marketing update. We've got a couple of contests going on. We've got one with Gerber Life. We also have one with American Amicable Life, and I'll highlight that one today for our marketing update. Hopefully you're in the running already to win you a little extra cash. It's for the months of August and September. Now, all you needed to do was, so far in August, and of course August is not over yet, but you need to have a minimum of 15 apps submitted for the month of August with American Amicable. Also 20 apps submitted with American Amicable for the month of September. So you've got time still yet to do that. And what happens if you do that, you submit those 35 apps, you'll get $25 per submitted paper application. If I'm understanding that correctly, that's for every app be up above and beyond those 15 for August and 20 for September. So you can make a potential of, $1,500 or greater over the next 2 months. Make sure you submit as many apps as you can. Agent must have those cases dated August 1st through August 31st for the August. Also September 1st through September 30th for the month of September. An agent must be in good standing, of course. So the results will be determined by the agency committee based on company records, and the only thing they won't count is controlled business. So you can't write your aunt, uncle, grandmother, cousin, anything like that. So, and only Lighthouse applications will qualify you for the bonus. No other products. So make sure you're writing Lighthouse. That is our exclusive product with One Life America that has been given to us and that we write through American Amicable Life. So it's an excellent product, excellent company. Make sure you're writing business for them. It can mean cash for you. So we'll move now, and if I'm correct, we'll have Keith Little calling in, and I believe he's in on the call now. We're looking for him. He's going to take just a minute with us to share. Keith actually grew up in Talladega, Alabama, where he attended Coosa Valley Academy High School. While there, he was a member of the Beta Club, a 2-year captain of the high school baseball team, and a 2-year letterman. He graduated with a 4.1 GPA. His success in high school baseball led him to be chosen for the Alabama All-State Selection First Team in 1994. Keith continued his baseball career while attending Chattahoochee Valley Community College. He then transferred to Southern Union Community College and then Auburn University. Now residing in Auburn, Alabama with his wife Robin, oldest daughter Anna Claire, and 2 sons Pearson and Harrison. Keith has already experienced a very successful career in the insurance industry. He's earned 19 company rewards trips with 10 different carriers over his 15 years in the business. Early in his insurance career, he has had tremendous success with American General Life, followed by working with Senior Life Insurance Company. Keith actually operated his first insurance agency in 2003, Senior Select Insurance Group, where he served as partner and owner. He now is partner, owner, operator, and agent with Life Management Group, again out of Opelika, Alabama. And then almost 3 years ago, Keith and his partner Trip Davis made the decision to begin a strategic partnership with One Life. Also, they are currently leading as the Team of the Year. It's my honor today to welcome Keith Little of Life Management Group for a short featured segment. Keith, are you there with us?
I'm here, buddy. How you doing today?
Absolutely doing good. Good to have you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me on the call. The funny thing is, you know how life throws you curveballs, and you get kind of caught up in a whirlwind of what you got to do from business and family and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, over the weekend, I completely forgot about this call this morning. So I'm definitely not going to be talking to anybody about being prepared. But I tell you what, it's always an honor and a privilege to be able to, be around the One Life family and be a part of the One Life family. And that's one of the things I did want to touch on this morning is just being a part of something. I worked early on in my career kind of by myself a lot, and even in final expense, I know I took about probably 3 or 4 months at a time, and I would go from Auburn to Mobile or maybe even to Memphis, Tennessee, and I did that a lot by myself with nobody to work with. So I can definitely tell you that being a part of a group and being part of a family like One Life of America, it really helps you to become more successful if you're willing to put in the drive and the effort into doing that and being real successful in final expense, because as anybody knows, it's not fun to go on any type of journey by yourself. And I think that's when we look at life itself, that's the reason why we get married and we have kids and we have friends and things like that, because who wants to go on the journey of life by themselves? So I say all that to say this. I'm highly appreciative of the One Life of America family, and I think everybody else should be too, because this gives me something to fall back on each and every day, knowing that I am a part of something bigger than myself. And that's the next thing too we all need to realize, is that we're not bigger than the company. And I've seen in my 17-year career in the insurance business, I've seen a lot of people fail simply because they may have thought that they were bigger or up on a higher pedestal than the company itself. And one thing we have to always all realize is that we all work towards a common goal. We all work together to make things happen. Now, we might have different things that we're trying to accomplish as an individual or as a company or even as One Life of America, but we all have different things that we work on. But at the end of the day, it's about the common goal. The common goal that we're trying to reach together, and that's being successful. And if we all pull together, we all do our parts, we all work together as a team, there's no way that we cannot be successful in the business that we're in. Because when you really think about it, this is a simple business. I mean, when it really comes down to the nuts and bolts of it, we go, we sell insurance, we sit in front of people, we provide a need, and that's exactly what we do. We uncover a need, and when we uncover a need, that creates a sale, and someone purchases insurance so they can protect their family and their family's financial future. So it's a pretty simple concept as to what we do. So it's not that hard to do, and what I'm saying is you don't have to have a 10-year degree from college to really be able to do it, but you have to put a lot of hard work, time, and effort into it, and that's tough to do if you just have to do it by yourself. And one thing I've noticed about One Life of America is that you don't have to do it by yourself. You have those guys, that company, myself, anybody involved, you have us at your fingertips to be able to reach out and help you when you need it. But you do have to, you do have to pick up the phone, or you do have to make the effort to ask and tell somebody, hey, you know what, I'm struggling a little bit. I need a little help. Can you give me some insight on some things? You gotta reach out and do that. But I can promise you, if you reach out and you ask for that help and you have a willingness and drive to be successful, it's going to happen because we work together great as a team. So I just wanted to touch on that. I just want everybody to understand how great of a thing that we have to be able to be part of something that is great, way greater than we are, and just to be able to be part of a winning combination. And look at the leadership at One Life of America from the top down, it just breathes into itself, and everybody's on the same page. Everybody is looking for that result that is pure, and and it's a result of true success and honesty. And you walk into the room where you have the academy back there, and you'll see 5 or 6 different things that are framed up that are core values of One Life of America. And when you look at those things, I mean, it really is a big indicator of who One Life of America is. And I couldn't be more thankful to be a part of that. And today, I guess I just wanted to talk about that, because I think at times we get all tied up into what we have to do, and our families and our work, and the next thing you know, we're thinking about ourselves, and about what we have to do, and we lose sight of the big picture. And the big picture truly is being a part of something bigger than what you are. That is part of being part of a team, part of something special. And that's the reason why you're here, because if we all think back on it at one point in time, we were at one point in time maybe not with One Life, unless you're somebody like maybe Scott Glanton that's been with the company forever. But if you'll look at some people that have not been with the company forever, at some point in time, they wanted to be a part of something. They wanted to be a part of a team. So I think, 80 to 90% of all of us probably understand that feeling, what it is to not have that, and really want to be a part of something like that, and then you get it. So we, I guess we could call my talk today One Life Appreciation, because I really just don't think we do enough of it. And it's not to praise, it's not to put it on any kind of pedestal, and there's no one person that really does it. But I think we really got to realize what we have. And I just got to thinking about that over the weekend, and I wanted to point that out. And so that leads me to my next point, and then I'll turn the call back over. But my next point is, we're back. We're more than halfway through the year now, and we're coming into the holiday season. Coming into a fun time, obviously, a fun time of football. That's people that are here in the South. You're either one or the other, especially in Alabama. You're either an Auburn fan or you're an Alabama fan. There's really no in between here. So get ready, here we go. And I know it's that way in Mississippi. You're probably either Mississippi State or Ole Miss. And so it's a fun time of year is my point. So we can get wrapped up in the fun time of the year and forget about our work and fall behind. And I've seen it happen many a time, September, October, November, and December. People say, well, those are the worst months of the year for insurance. But when you really get right down to it, it's the worst months of the year for people to work because you can find so many other things going on. School's back, fall's in the air, the weather's turning, football season is here. We got every single weekend something to look forward to. And we can get wrapped up in all that hype and forget about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, when we need to really be doing the things that are going to make us a huge success in the year of 2016. Then you have, you have Halloween coming up. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got Christmas right around the corner. After that, before we know it, we're going to snap our fingers and we'll be right back at the first of the year. But my point is, coming up these next 4 months, it is very important to really buckle down and work as harder than you've worked all year long, simply because they're going to get shorter days. It's going to be holidays. You're going to want to spend more time with the family. So it's going to be more important to really grind it out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and really make sure you get the appointments that you need to get so you can see the people in the afternoon. Because remember, when the time changes, a 6:30 appointment is going to be dark outside. But just because it's dark outside doesn't mean that you go home and you quit work. But just to kind of a little forewarn everybody, the next 4 months is going to be the toughest months that you work. And it'll be the toughest months you work because you really don't want to work that much. But you got to dig down deep, and you got to tell yourself, hey, this is the time that I grind it out so I can really enjoy it come springtime and summertime again. So we've all had a fantastic summer, I believe, at Life Management Group. It sounds like a lot of people have went on some trips and been on some great vacations with their family and their friends. And that's the third and final thing I wanted to talk about. When you look at the benefits of what the final expense business offers you, it offers you the freedom to be able to go out and then do what you want to do. And if you need to take a week off, you don't have to ask anybody. If you need to go on vacation, you earned it, you do it. And on top of that, all the carrier conventions that we can earn and we can take part in, year after year after year after year. And I'll tell you what, it's just no better business in the world to be a part of when you just think about everything that it offers. And so having that said, don't forget about telling this opportunity to other people, because I think other people would like to enjoy the things that we enjoy. And if we just walk right by them and we don't talk to them about it, then we're going to miss out and they're going to miss out. So don't miss out on your next recruit. Don't miss out on your next sale. And remember, go to work and work real hard over the next 4 months so you can put back for the winter, so to speak. And I hope everybody has a great holiday, and I look forward to being at the next academy. And once again, thank you so much for having me on a Monday morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on the call, Keith. And if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you just a couple of questions. While we've got you on the phone, we've got one of the most successful people in our organization. Shoot, hey, if that's what you bring when you didn't have as much time as you'd hoped for to get something together, then I'm pretty impressed. I'd like to see what it looks like whenever you have some time. But appreciate you being on the call. Want to ask a couple questions just quickly. One thing, just as a very nuts and bolts, practical type question that I like to ask is, I know for a fact you've trained a lot of guys. Obviously, you've built quite an organization. Y'all are submitting, if you're not the top producing group that we've got at One Life, you're number 2 every week, neck and neck with another organization. When you're training guys and bringing them on, let me just ask you, what do you pitch them as far as for a work week, and what do your guys do for a work week? Do they work 2 days, 3 days? How many appointments do you like to run? And just some nuts and bolts of what a normal week looks like. Are y'all setting appointments? Are you doing ride-bys exclusively and that type of thing? Give me just
definitely. I'm glad you asked that question. As far as what the work week looks like, I would say when I use the word go to work, I mean, all of us in the final expense industry understand that that's a term that's used quite lightly. But when I say go to work, I'm saying getting your work week started. So most of the agents, they will travel on Monday and kind of get settled into where they're going, and they'll set appointments for Monday, for Tuesday. And as most of us know at final expense, you don't want to set your appointments too far out. So you want to set them for the next day, and then, of course, they'll set Tuesday for Wednesday. And typically you'll see people that will mainly work all the way through Thursday. So having that said, you asked the question, how many appointments? I like to use, and I'll throw this little formula out here I call the magic formula. And that's you get 30 leads. If out of 30 leads you get 15 appointments, you can convert 50% to sales. That would be 7.5 sales. Okay, and as we know, our average application is about $56 or $60 a month. And so when you really do the math on all that, if you can just get half of the people to convert to an appointment and half of the people to convert to a sale, you're going to have a pretty daggone good successful work week. And that's kind of what the general rule of thumb we follow is. Trying to hit them conversions. That's the magic formula. Not always is that going to happen. Not always is that going to be reality. But the bottom line is it's a good general rule of thumb to go by, because I know if you strive to hit, I call it the half and half formula. If you strive to hit the half and half, you're going to make some money. You're going to be highly successful if you can do that each and every week.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. Tell you what I'd like to do, just while we've got you, maybe if we have somebody that has a question that would like to, if you don't mind, would like to ask a question, maybe a nuts and bolts type question like that, or maybe something towards what you do to keep production up in that last quarter or so. Whatever you guys have, if you've got something to that end, or just a different question you would like to ask Keith, I'm going to adjust the settings here. All right, so I've got it to where you're unmuted now. If you'd like to ask a question, you can certainly do that. Myself and Keith on the phone. All you have to do is press *6. Again, *6, and then at that point, just let us know who you are and address your question to Keith this morning. We'll give just a minute for you to do that if you'd like to.
Most of the time when there's no questions, that means you've done a pretty good job, right?
Absolutely. Every time. That's what I say anyway.
That means you covered everything, right?
That's right. We covered it all. And let me ask you, I kind of alluded to it. Let me just go ahead and ask you, what are some things that you try to do personally and for your team, during the last quarter or during times, especially I know around Christmas when I used to try to go out, man, Thanksgiving and Christmas, nobody wanted to buy anything. They didn't want to spend their money on insurance. What do you do during those months to try to keep from falling in that rut?
Well, I think the main thing is you just got to make sure you work the days that are available to work. And you got to put it in your mind that production is low throughout those periods of time because of the work, because of how much work you do. And it's not necessarily the mindset of the customer. I mean, we can sit here and try to say that the customers just don't buy in that time, but we all know we're fooling ourselves when we do that because then why in June or July we want everybody to think we're the greatest salesman in the world. So if you are that, which we all are, then in December you're just as good in December as you are in July or August. And that's the thing. I mean, we can believe what we want to believe, but I think sometimes, it's just an internal excuse to say, this is why I'm not working, instead of I'm taking this time off throughout the holidays to be with my family, which is okay because we all know that this business is that type of business that we can get that kind of time off when we need it. So, but for you younger people, and I mean not necessarily just younger in age, but younger in the business, I don't believe all that hype from these veterans. If you want to work and you want to go make a bunch of money during Christmas and during Thanksgiving months, you can do it. But you got to set your mind to it. You got to say, hey, I am going to work through these months. And you do have to pick out the days that you're going to work, and you can't let one day go by, it's a work day, that you do something different, because there's going to be many a days throughout those months that are going to be holidays, and you're really not going to be able to see people. So my suggestion is, focus on your goal. Mm-hmm. Don't listen to anybody else about it. Focus on what you really want to do, because when I was really selling out in the field each and every year, December and November were a lot. I had a lot to do with some of my best months. And the reason being was I was broke. I needed the money. I had to buy Christmas, and there was no way I was going to look at my wife and say, hey, you know what? We can't buy Christmas this year because I'm not working. So think about that. You don't have an excuse. And I'd love to take advantage of it, because I feel like people were at home during the holidays. And
sure.
They were there. But the question is, do I want to make that sacrifice? And ask yourself that question. Do you want to make that sacrifice to be away so you can be there when it counts the most?
Right. Absolutely. And, I think you are right, and I think what you alluded to there, a lot of times we can use Christmas or holidays or things like that as a crutch, when certainly there are so many you can walk out of the door every morning and think of 100 excuses in a sales job why you're set up to maybe not succeed. You can do that if you choose to. But really, people that are successful in this business, all you folks that are on this call right now, you are some of the top people, and I really mean that in your mindset as far as mentally, the types of people that you are. You go out there and you eat what you kill. You're kind of like a modern day. I can't think of maybe the word I'm looking for, but almost one of the people that would ascend the ladder. If you believe in what a lot of psychologists believe, the survival of the fittest, you guys would survive, and you certainly do, and you're successful in what you do. So, Keith, thank you for being on the call this morning.
Yes, sir.
And we'd love to have you back sometime. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I think you'd be pretty dangerous if you had a little more time. If you had even more time than you had this morning. So thanks again for being on the call.
I appreciate. What makes this so fun is just being able to have that opportunity to be here, and I appreciate that. That to me, this business is just simple, and it's just simple talk, and we got to simplify it, and we got to get down to it. But I really appreciate it. I really do.
Absolutely.
And this is what makes my career what it is, and thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Good to have you. Well, good deal. Well, thank you all also as well for being on the call with us again yet another week. We appreciate all of your efforts. And again, you guys are the top out there doing what you do. You're successful at it. I just read through that list, and wow, at the production that we see from week in and week out. And I've met all of you. I know that you're just common, regular folks like the rest of us. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate you. We want to encourage you. And if there's anything we can do to help you, let us know. You can always call us here at the home office. We've got a line here that'll reach the marketing department. That's 800-496-1092. We'd be more than glad to assist you in any way we can. It's going to wrap us up for the week. Make sure you join us again next week at 10:30. Until then, let's have a wonderful week. God bless you all.